Well, welcome everyone. Great to see you here today. My name is Steve Sechrist, and I'm the Regional Coordinator for North America and Oceania at the Leibniz University Hannover. And we're really excited to speak to you today about our university and the opportunities we have for you, from students from our partner university, Concordia College. I'm joined today with my colleague, Adrian Langer, who is going to give the presentation, and we all have some time afterwards for Q&A if you have questions. So, Adrian, I will turn it over to you.
All right. Thank you, Steve. Well, nice to meet you guys. As Steve said, I'm Adrian. I'm a student of economic geography here in Hanover at the master's level or graduate level in American terms. And yeah, I'll be telling you a little bit about our beautiful university and beautiful city, or in my eyes, beautiful at least. And yeah, let's start off with some contents of what I'm gonna be going over. Some little facts about our university, about Leibniz Universität Hannover, about the schools of our university. I'll be telling you a little bit about our student life here in Hanover and your possibilities as international students here. So some little facts about our university. It is a public and state university. It was founded in 1831. As you can clearly see by that old castle on the picture, that is our main building. Some people refer to it as Hogwarts, lovingly, of course. And yeah, we have about 30,000 students here, of which about 4,300 are international students. Our semester dates are roughly for the winter semester October, starting in October till the end of February. So you'll probably have your exams, yeah, by February or March at latest. And our summer semester starts in April and ends in July. So you would be having your exams by August at latest. About our namesake, Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz. He was born in 1646, a little while ago, died in 1716. He was a mathematician, a philosopher, a scientist, and diplomat. So a so-called universal genius, kind of like Da Vinci and the sorts. And he is the noted developer of the binary system, which, yeah, is the foundation on which, well, pretty much information technology and computer science was built. Yeah, so in some way you can thank him for the machines we are using to communicate with each other right now. About our schools here at Leibniz University, it is a very diverse university. We have all kinds of study subjects going from ranging from architecture and landscape sciences, going on to humanities, law, natural sciences, economics and management. You catch the drift. It's a lot of study subjects that we offer here. Yeah. Now about the student life here in Hanover, the university buildings, the sports facilities and dorms are actually spread across the city. So we don't have a, well, concentrated campus as such. Most of the buildings and facilities are spread in, let's say, 2 or 3 miles around the university. But yeah, it's all pretty walkable and it's pretty integrated in the city as such. The living costs are approximately 1,000 euros per month, which includes housing, meals, insurance, entertainment and going out, travel, so pretty much anything. If you want to be really, really comfortable, just pack some 200 euros additionally on that. But yeah, with 1,000 euros, you're pretty good to go. That is my personal experience as well. The residence halls are single rooms with a common kitchen, with a living room and bathroom, but we also have shared flats, if I'm not mistaken. I live at a private flat myself. This is also a possibility for yourself. You don't have to live in the residence halls. You can, of course, live somewhere else or wherever you please. Some little impressions of our university. Well, at the top right, you have some of our dorms. At the bottom right, you have the parks and gardens that are in front and in the back of the main building. You can imagine that the main building is pretty much surrounded by parks and forests and such. On the top left, you have a little picture of our cafeteria, and on the bottom left, you have students hard at work at our university. Very concentrated. Now, about our city and the region of Hanover, it is a green, safe, and central city. It has a population of about 500,000 people, and it is actually one of Europe's greenest cities. We have the Eilenriede, which is the biggest city forest in all of Europe. We have excellent public transportation, so much so that I'll be honest here, I don't have a driver's license, but I haven't needed it either because the public transportation system and infrastructure is so good here that, yeah, anything that you can't reach by public transportation, you will reach by foot or with your bike. It is very easy to get a bike here in Hanover. You can rent them, you can buy them for a few euros, yeah. Hanover is actually a UNESCO City of Music, so lots of music going on here, lots of culture in general going on here. We have opera, theaters, museums, and in a German context, it is centrally located. It takes about 1 to 2 hours by train to get to Berlin, to Hamburg, to Bremen, which are like the next most interesting or important cities. And in the context of Europe, it takes about 4 to 7 hours by train to get to Amsterdam, Brussels, Copenhagen, to Prague. So all of these vibrant European metropoles and capitals.
Argo, you may need that driver's license. Just want to let you know that.
Yeah, I know. The thing is that getting a driver's license here in Germany is very, very expensive. So I've been pushing it a little bit down the road, but yeah, I'll be doing that soon enough, I think.
One thing I wanted to just add in there about the central location, I think that's something that a lot of people maybe don't know about Hanover, is how central we are in Germany. And for students, you know, when you're an exchange student, one of the things that you want to do is kind of explore the area where you're studying, and certainly exploring Hanover. But you know, weekend trips to neighboring countries, Belgium, France, Denmark, Poland, the Czech Republic, even Austria, are possible because we have, as Adrian said, we have excellent public transportation, including a great train system. And so you can easily do a long weekend in Amsterdam or even a regular weekend. And it's really not, it's not that hard. So that's one thing I want to point out, because that's one of the things that students have said to me, that they really appreciated the fact that they could explore so much from kind of Hanover as their main point.
Definitely, yeah.
Could I ask a question? Are there also
Sure,
Greenheisen, arranged university travel to different cities or places through Erasmus or some other organization?
There are discount travel like buses that will take students to different cities, like the Flixbus and so forth, that have reduced fares. As far as international student trips, the International Center organizes some international student events and kind of local excursions. But in terms of like a trip, you know, a weekend trip to Amsterdam or something like that, I don't think that's organized by the university. Most students do those individually, or they pair up with a few other students and do that.
Oh yeah, and by the way, as a student here in Hanover, your student enrollment, your ticket actually includes public transportation here in Hanover, and also all of Lower Saxony. So you can get to Hamburg for free, you can get to Bremen for free. A train trip to Berlin costs about 10 or 20 euros one way. So yeah, 20 or 30 euros in total. It's very, very affordable to get around here. Definitely. Yeah, some little impressions of our city. At the top right, we have the Herrenhäuser Gärten, which are they're like these Baroque gardens. They are well cared for and designed differently each year. So this is the design they had a few years back, but a lot of love and a lot of work going in there. Actually, back in 2015, I believe they got the prize as the most beautiful gardens here in Europe. So over Versailles and the such, some local patriotism coming through here. And at the top middle, we have our town hall. At the bottom middle, we have the market church, which was actually destroyed during World War II, but rebuilt. Hanover is one of the cities that was pretty destroyed after the World War, but has been rebuilt since then a lot. So you can also kind of see these traces of history in our town as well. At the bottom right, we have the Sprengel Museum, which is one of the many museums here in Hanover. And yeah, it is a very, very beautiful and walkable city. Each 10 minutes by foot or 20 minutes, you have a change of scenery. Yeah, it's beautiful. Now, about the courses here at our university that are taught in English, we have lots of courses in English in the subjects of business management, finance, marketing, international business, and the sorts. Also in German language and literature, but moreover, there are courses taught in English in other subjects as well that may be offered more sporadically, which you can also take part in. But yeah, more about that when you apply here, enroll here, and when you get here, then you'll know the definite options as well. About taking master's courses here at our university. Actually, third-year international undergraduate students can usually enroll in master's or graduate level courses, of which a broad range of courses are available. Our system here is a little bit different because we have like a 3 years bachelor's, which is in contrast to the 4-year undergrad program you have in the US, if I'm not mistaken. And our master's takes 2 years, which may be shorter in the US as well, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe not in all cases. You can also take courses in German if you dare. For German courses, a B2 level certificate is needed. We won't pin you down or any certain language certificates. You can present us pretty much any language certificate or certification by your faculty at your home institution, or some proof of language courses that may be yeah, equivalent to this B2 level certificate. And you can also, if you want to, take a mix of German and English courses as well.
For that you just said, Adrian, if a student's German is at a sufficient level, they can take, regular departmental courses taught in German, correct?
Definitely, that is no problem. It is just a question of this, yeah, some kind of proof or certification. As we said, we won't pin you down on anything specific, just so we can ensure that, yeah, all the parties involved will be happy with the courses they take.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to add something to that. One thing that can also be a consideration for students who are maybe at that B2 level German or close to it, and want to, let's say, take a course in German, but they don't feel like their writing skills are quite at a place where they could write a paper at the end of the course. A lot of times courses are graded with a paper at the end. That in many cases they can arrange with the professor to write that paper in English. So you can take a course in German, let's say it's a business course or German lit, and then write the final paper in English. A lot of times that can be arranged with the faculty members. So.
About the enrollment and the learning agreement, students that will be enrolled in one faculty, they will be enrolled in one faculty, but they can take courses of other faculties as well, of other schools as well. The courses will be noted in a learning agreement, which you can kind of see on the right side. Pre-arrival, the learning agreement should only include courses of the enrolled faculty for simplicity reasons, but at arrival, courses of other faculties can be added to the learning agreement as well, no problem. The only condition is that at least 50% of the courses should or must correspond to the enrolled faculty. Now about the study buddy program, which is this little program we have here at the international office of our university. It is a great way to meet local students and to get to know Hanover. You would be matched with local buddies, which are students of our university here in Hanover at the Leibniz Universität, and they'll be your contact and support for you as an international student. So yeah, there's this matching process that we do. Of course, the participation in this is voluntary. The form and frequency of your meetings depends on the individual commitment of the buddies. So of course, we won't make you meet regularly if you don't want to. But of course, if you make new friends, it is a great way to get to know Hanover and to get your foot down here in the city. And it is a great way to get to know these recreational activities and to engage in some intercultural exchange for all parties involved. And last but not least, we have our international office here as well, of which Steve and I are from. We are the main support and contact for the incoming students here at each step of the way, before they get here, when they get here, and when they want to leave. Again, we help with any administrative matters. You may have heard of German bureaucracy in some context, no problem. We got that figured out, and we've done this a few times. So this should pose no problem, no threat to you in no way. And we also host recreational activities regularly. If you want to get some more impressions and some more information, you can check out our Instagram or our Facebook. You can see the handle down below. And that'd be it on my behalf. We look forward to welcoming you. This little picture is in winter.
I just want to add briefly the recreational activities that I saw when I spoke with Uta Knoche. They're extensive. They have dining tables, meals, they have films, they have all sorts of outings. I mean, I was very impressed by all the things that international students can get engaged in at Hanover. So I just wanted to put a plug in for that.
Yeah, and I would add to that too. As Adrian mentioned, we have a very vibrant international population at Hanover. And some of you may have heard of the Erasmus program. That's kind of an inter-European exchange program. And so we receive a lot of students from other European countries as well, as countries such as the United States and Australia, China, and so forth. And so there's opportunities for students to make connections with German students, certainly through programs such as Study Buddy or through classes in that organizations, but then also through the International Center, you have the chance at orientation then to meet a lot of the other European exchange students or exchange students from other partner universities worldwide, and lifelong friendships get formed there. So I know from when I spent a semester abroad. My study buddy, so to speak, we're still in contact, and that was a while ago.
With the International Business Program, we try to organize through your office a 13-week internship and then a semester study at the Uni Leibniz. And I wonder if you could talk about the variety of internships that you are able to help arrange.
Yeah, with the internships, I would actually want to bring in my colleagues from the School of Business because they're much more versed in that than I am. So I know they've had, I know students have done internships at Volkswagen, at Continental, we have a number of major companies here in the area in Hanover. In fact, I spoke with the School of Business today, and unfortunately they weren't able to join us. But yeah, I would want to defer to them on the internship. I can get information to you afterwards.
Yeah, that would be helpful. And perhaps some information too about, language expectations for those internships.
Yeah.
We also have a career center here that can sometimes help to support students in their internship. And so we do have some resources, but it would be great to get some additional information about that and be able to kind of disseminate that around campus. I had a quick question whether there is any possibility of homestays, or you all have done that in the past, or mostly it's that student accommodation that Adrian was mentioning.
Yeah, so we don't have a homestay program per se. Students have the option to live in the student residence halls. And like I said, those are relatively inexpensive compared to most US institutions. So rent is around $300 to $350 per month for the residence halls. But students also have the option to, that we do have like what we call an accommodation service, like an off-campus housing service, where people can advertise a flat for rent or a room for rent. So there could be those type of opportunities through the off-campus housing service. Yeah, I can also check with our off-campus housing office and to see, do they get offers from families that have an extra room for rent?
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. That is very common. We have a lot of WGs here in Hanover, or in Germany in general. WGs are Wohngemeinschaften, so it's shared flats, like 2, 3, 4 students will just share a flat, each of them paying for their own room. Either way, if you take a WG or if you live at the residence halls, it is very easy to get in contact with other people, with local people and people of other study subjects through WGs or the residence halls.
And a lot of this, I mean, we're talking about the semester that they're there, but for our students who do internships first, they usually start in January and end in March. And because of our semester system, that's the way it works best. Does your office then help them secure some sort of living space, whether a WG or a dorm or whatever, during that time?
Yeah, that would be for the period that they're not living, assuming that they're doing an internship in Hanover, then there would be, like, our off-campus housing service would have information on rooms for rent or WGs, as Adrian said, the sort of shared accommodation or apartments for rent if someone wants to rent their own apartment, wants to kind of live on their own. Yeah, they would have information on that. And I also wanted to mention we have several cafeterias across campus, and the food is quite good for cafeteria food. And it's not going to be just your traditional German food, but there's always like a pasta option. There's a vegetarian option. There'll be a meat option. So there'll be several different options for students, and it's quite good. And the prices are quite reasonable because that's part of the sort of German philosophy, is that students should have access to education and should have subsidized living costs. And so the Studentenwerk is like a the student affairs organization. It's a partner organization to the university, and they manage the dormitories, and they manage the cafeterias, and also counseling centers. And so for these types of student services, especially dormitories and the cafeterias, they have very low costs, and that's to make sure that students have access to that.
And your office will help them as far as getting the Aufenthaltserlaubnis and the Studienvisa und so weiter.
Yeah, we do that as part of the orientation. So after they arrive, in terms of going to the residence office where they have to register their address, and then in terms of the Ausländerbehörde, which is the kind of the immigration office. So we have specially organized programs for that. So with appointments and so forth. And then of course the pre-arrival orientation information that they receive as well.
Hanover, I mean, we're talking about international business a lot, but as a full university, Hanover offers many disciplines that students could plug into. If you're in psychology or sociology, that would be an option as well for students to participate in those programs and to transfer credits back.
With some of the faculties, there's more limited courses that are offered in English. So for example, theology. So the HISMA program is actually not run by us, but it's run by the School of Business. And so that is a program, that's the program where students come and they do an internship and then a semester of classes.
And isn't there a German language institute in the summer as well then?
Yes, there is a German English. Well, we offer that for all students, regardless of whether they're coming for HISMA or they're coming on exchange. There is a language course that's offered the month before they arrive here, and that's organized by our office, by colleagues for the incoming office. They organize language course and they have different outings and excursions and so forth. Yeah, that happens then in the month before the semester starts. So students will be coming in September for the winter semester, and then in March for the summer semester. The Science and Engineering Research Program is a program that we run, and it provides opportunities for students in the sciences and engineering to do a 11-week internship, research internship at the University of Hanover. So that starts normally in middle of May and goes till end of July. And students can earn 12 credits, 12 ECTS credits, which is about 6 US credits. And they work, they do their internship under the supervision of a professor or a researcher in one of our institutes. So we've got, for example, a few students coming this year. It's been kind of on hold for a couple of years due to the pandemic, but now it's coming back. And so we've got a student who's going to be doing his practicum or his internship in meteorology. We have a couple working on human-computer interaction and software engineering. We also have one working on electrical engineering. So, but yeah, we have a wide range of opportunities out there. And if students have a specific interest, like they're really interested in biochemistry, for example, and they'd like to do a research internship in biochemistry, we can reach out to the biochemistry faculty and see what projects they have going on that students can then join. So basically, students are brought into a research group and for that period of the internship. The main language is English. Certainly if somebody is proficient in German, depending on the research group, they could do their internship in German. Right. Most of the PIs, most of the faculty and the researchers are German, but we do have a lot of research groups that are mixed. So you have, some researchers from Japan, and you may have researchers from Brazil there, and so then the common language will be English. So then that research work then takes place in English.
Thank you so much for your time.
And
yeah, thank you very much.
Any and all questions, you can just refer to us, definitely.
Alles klar.
Alles klar.
Tschüss.